Thank you for staying. Let's get into the news now. And it's all about a plea for debt cancellation. 13 aid and campaign groups, both international and local, are pushing for international creditors to cancel a large portion of Ghana's debts. Government of Ghana in December formally started processes to restructure its foreign debts under the G20 Common Framework Platform. Ghana becomes the fourth country after Chad, Ethiopia, and Zambia to do so. On Wednesday, Ghana missed a $41 million interest payment due on a $1 billion Eurobond. But the aid groups believe private lenders must share in the cost of a crisis they helped to create. The Paris Club, fronting talks with the G20 countries, says the creditors are committed to hearing Ghana's case for debt cancellation. But Dean of the School of Business at the University of Cape Coast, Professor John Gachi, says government will have to do a lot of convincing to get the buy-in of creditors before the appeal is approved. He is, however, unsure whether all of its debts will be waived.
Well, debts have been cancelled over the years when certain conditions are present. And Ghana has received debt cancellation benefit in the past. I think quite recently, we can talk about the HIPIC initiative. There were debt cancellation, debt forgiveness, etc. And the purpose of that is to give some respite to the country to recover and rebuild. That is the essence of that. It is not anticipated that the country will run into debt such that it is not able to pay its debt again. That is not the expectation. If you look at the period that we received benefit from debt cancellation, debt forgiveness, we exited the HIPIC initiative around 2006, not quite long. We are here again. So as to whether the creditors are generally willing to provide us with that opportunity again is something that we need to discuss with them, provide cogent reasons why we think we should be given the debt forgiveness opportunity.
Now, former Finance Minister and NDC flag bearer hopeful Dr. Kwabena Dufo, who also owns several business interests in the financial sector, says he is opposed to the debt exchange program. He had the following alternative suggestions.
I think we should all look at it again. You see, it's about money. Mm-hmm. A very noble man years ago, somewhere said that, never treat money affairs with levity. Mm. Never treat money affairs with levity. Money is character. In the local palace, we had the music, said, Sky Muja. Mm-hmm. What you manage, talk about money, be very careful. If it goes wrong, people can die. Yeah. So I think, much as we need to maybe use the bond, mm-hmm, or manage the bond in a way that will give us a very solid fiscal consolidation, mm-hmm, we should be careful about the lives of people.
Do you agree that a domestic debt exchange is the right way to go?
No, I am looking at the need to have strong fiscal consolidation. Okay. I'm a shareholder of a company. Mm-hmm. They're talking about taking some bonds. Nobody has consulted me. Nobody has told. I have no idea about that. I only heard it from the radio, and my children told me this was happening, but nobody has spoken to me. Now, we need to...
You, shareholder?
I'm a shareholder in the company.
As in, shareholders have not been consulted?
I have not been consulted. But let me come and say, if you look at the 137 billion old bonds, mm-hmm, that we want to exchange for new, the old bonds, the weighted average for their maturity, it's about 3.8 years. That's about 4 years. Okay. The coupon rate, the weighted average coupon rate, It's about 19.1. The new ones they are introducing, the maturity will be what? About 9.5 from my own calculations.
Okay.
But 9.5, so almost 10 years. And the coupon rate attached to this is about 8.1.
Okay.
So in effect, they are saying that, yes, the loss we are experiencing, you take 55%, the bondholder, government, I'm taking 45%. And the loss is almost 60% to the bondholder. Government, about 40%, 40%. Looking at what's happening in the market now, the benchmark 91 TB rate, treasury bill rate, is about almost 35, about 34%. So if you were to buy treasury bills now, government, you will pay about 34%, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I would have proposed that, yes, let's stretch the new bonds to 10 years or beyond. But looking at the market now and the economy now, the 19.1 coupon rate that old ones were enjoying, I'll keep it like that.
Okay.
And not 8.1. Because the cost of borrowing to you government.
Well, from there, Joy News can confirm that the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company has started selling petroleum products procured under the Gold for Oil barter arrangement. GOIL and the bulk distribution companies have taken delivery for the market. What is being sold is, however, only 20% of Ghana's market needs. The Bank of Ghana says you should not expect to see an immediate reduction in the prices of petrol and diesel at your favorite filling stations just yet. Here is the head of financial markets at the Bank of Ghana, Stephen Opata.
The product was cleared from the port just today. I know that Boss has started selling. This is just 20% of our monthly needs. So even though from the numbers I've seen, the pricing is better than what is at the ESCOM prices right now, because this is just 20% of our needs, it will not make that much impact as if it were we were doing 100% of our diesel needs. So let's keep on going this program. As we build momentum and meeting 50 to even 60% of our needs, you will see that it will begin to impact on ESCOM prices.
Now, in our next story, about 85% of students in the Ashanti School for the Deaf are yet to report to school in the second week of reopening. School authorities say parents often discriminate against their disabled children when fulfilling their educational needs of other wards, though they have the same curriculum as other basic schools. Nanaya Ojima reports the late reporting of students have distorted their academic calendar and reduced contact hours.
All basic schools have entered the second week of the new term. At the Ashanti School for the Deaf, less than 70 of the 600 pupils of the school had returned from vacation. Though the cost of education here is absorbed entirely by the government, school authorities say parents use financial difficulty in purchasing provisions for boarding school as an excuse for the delay. Headmistress Vida Edu reveals the reoccurrence of such an incident puts the pupils in a disadvantageous position when they sit the basic education certificate examination.
Once a parent has seen the need to bring a disabled child to school, it means the parent has not neglected that child, but they don't place them as a priority. Because the school runs as the regular school, when school reopens, the parents settle the hearing children, those who don't have disability. They settle them in school before they take us a second chance. So that is why we stay in the home till the fourth week before the school is full. As they are planning for the hearing children, they should plan for us as well. Because we write at the end of the year, we write the same exams the same time, the same period. So as they are delaying us in the house, it goes a long way to affect us in our teaching and learning.
The school, established in 1977, is the only one serving the whole of the Ashanti region. The school operates like all public basic schools, running the same curriculum. Since establishment, some of the facilities are yet to receive any renovation.
So all the facilities in the school are old. When we talk of our buildings, they are very old, so we would need building materials like paint, roofing sheets, louver blades, etc. All our louver blades, when you go to the dormitory and then the dining, they are all broken. We also need food items to support what the government brings to the school. One of our major problems is vehicle. The only pickup that we have is out of use. And then the bus that we also use to send the children for sports and then excursion activities is also spoiled.
Meanwhile, the Bookbinders Association in the Ashanti region has donated stationery worth 30,000 cedis to the school. The donation is expected to improve teaching and learning in the school. Peter Insia is chairman of the association.
Well, we decided to make this donation to this school because they are in need. Their parents have so many children to take care of, and they normally leave these people, these disabled. So we decided to this time come here to make this huge donation to them so that it can help them to learn. Even though the government is doing its best, it's not enough. So they need so many things like.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
In our next story, the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumabwaje, has announced that his outfit is ready to commence the 6th National COVID-19 Vaccination Days from 20th till the 24th of January. Speaking at a press briefing in Accra, he indicated that this month's cohort has sought to vaccinate about 1 million people. There's more in the following report.
Since Ghana started COVID-19 vaccination in 2021, there have been several myths surrounding the vaccines, hence creating hesitation among individuals. In the beginning of 2022, less than half of the target population of 20 million people had received at least one vaccine dose, and only about 13% were fully vaccinated. Therefore, the Ghana Health Service initiated the first edition of the National COVID-19 Immunization Days in February 2022 to help push the cause. Dr. Patrick Kumabwaje is the Director General of the Ghana Health Service.
So this is the 6th campaign launch, 5-day National COVID-19 Vaccination Days that we have been doing. We had initial glitches of people hesitancy. We also realized that also creating better access to the vaccine also allowed us to have people taking the vaccine. The very first campaign, we had about 2 million people taking in December last year, in 2021, and we have since then continued to do this campaign. The last campaign, we had about 1.2 million people vaccinated in 5 days. So we are using this in pulses sort of to ensure that we use that opportunity to push up the numbers to as we head towards herd immunity. So far, we have done about 22.6 million doses have been given out. We are hoping to do about 1.4 in the next 5 days. Especially in this time that there's no illness, there's no outbreak, the numbers are down. This is the best time to vaccinate. We have vaccines available. We have Pfizer, we have Moderna, we have Johnson & Johnson, and all the various vaccines that are registered in the country, apart from Sputnik, are available for people to take. And the good news is that the mix and match is safe and it's good, and so even if you took AstraZeneca first dose, you can take Pfizer and second dose.
He says sufficient resources will be channeled to some remote areas that recorded less number of vaccine doses during the previous cohort.
We also have a few regions in the southern part of the country where the coverage is low, Volta, a bit of Greater Accra, and a bit of Ashanti, where we still have a large, significant number of people who are unvaccinated. Either they have one dose, they have not taken their second dose, or they've not had their booster. So it's an opportunity to create an opportunity for them, whether you are in Oberbank or the hard-to-reach area, the teams will come there and vaccinate you. And we're hoping that we'll head towards the herd immunity we're all looking for.
The program manager, EPI, Dr. Kwame Abuaje Echiano, indicated that there are about 11 active cases of COVID-19 in the country presently.
So as I speak, we have 11 active cases, but fortunately, we don't have any severely ill or critically ill person from COVID. But suffice to say that COVID is not gone, it's still lurking. And we need to get our loins against COVID. Looking at what is happening around us, we need to still be very careful. We have evolution of some variants, and it's very unpredictable. So the best method is to protect yourself.
Talking to Joy News, some individuals who have taken the vaccines shared their experiences.
Most of us were afraid, and some of us had the opportunity to receive the information from Ghana Health Service. And as we follow it, I went for the vaccination. And on that same day, I worked throughout without feeling any pains or any side effects.
Initially, when the virus came about, we were all scared, me in particular, because the things I was hearing was a bit, scary. But when I took it, I didn't have any experience, nothing. I think just the normal, pain when you take a jab.
No one is safe until everyone is safe. Protect yourself, protect your family. Get vaccinated against COVID-19 now. Jesse Sawabuafo's report for Joy News.
Now, there was a shocking revelation at the Public Accounts Committee as the Inspector General of the Ghana Police Service, George Akakpo Dampare, disclosed that one of the officers at the center of a missing 190,000 CFA cannot be found. According to the 2020 Auditor General's report, the Takwa Division of the Criminal Investigations Department did not account for some $81,000 and 40,000 francs that they had retrieved from suspects as exhibits. Clarifying the matter at the PAC this afternoon, that is yesterday afternoon, the IGP revealed that the currencies were fake. Not only were the amounts underdeclared, but one of its officers responsible had resigned and couldn't be found for prosecution. There's more in the following report.
And when they analyze it instantly, with their instinct, they thought that there was something wrong with the currencies. It couldn't be genuine. So they picked them up and took them through the process of investigations. And as a result, those values, the US dollars and the CFA fund, were sent to the CID headquarters.
According to the IGP, Dr. Akakpo Dampare, preliminary investigations into the matter revealed that the initial amount was underdeclared by 150,000 CFA. He said the money was retrieved to the CID headquarters and later sent to Ivory Coast for authentication. He said after authentication, all the currencies were declared as fake. Meanwhile, after sending the cash back to Takwa, it could no longer be found.
But the police on their own, in the course of the investigation, realized that it was more than the 40,000. It was 190,000. So that 190,000 was brought from Takwa to the CID headquarters, and through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it was sent to Cote d'Ivoire, the authorities, for them to authenticate it for us as to its genuineness or otherwise. And that was done, and the results with the accompanying appendix indicate that they were all faked.
But the interesting bit about the investigation is that the police cannot find one of their own who is at the center of the matter for prosecution.
Honorable Chair, there has been confusion as to who actually received it and the whereabouts of the money. And when it came to our attention, we have looked at the matter and identified 3 police officers who are involved in the matter. Unfortunately, one of them has resigned from the service, and we are making an effort to look for him and for him to be held accountable.
In the case of the Trades Ministry, the Public Accounts Committee has surcharged 2 regional directors of the NBSSI to pay a total of 1,914 cedis back to the state. The money was a tax they were expected to withhold on the payment of some goods and services.
Honorable Chair, we have a little bit of a challenge because when the auditors audited our regional secretariats differently, so we only looked at our own individually, the Ghana Enterprises own, and the regional ones separately. So there was a little bit of a lag there, but we have actually worked on it. So we will have it immediately.
Madam, I think 3 years is too long a time for this amount of money.
Next week they'll pay it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're giving you next week to refund the money. If you don't get them, the accountants, Mr. Emmanuel Ampedu Sasu, and the regional manager, Isaac Dimako, will personally have to pay the money.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of the Interior said it has reached an agreement with 3 companies, Messiah's AEL Mining Service Limited, Orica Ghana Limited, and Maxam Ghana Limited to pay 1.5 million cedis to the government as tax difference charges on some explosive imported into the country within the period.
I should, as it were, face the gallows, and I think that they didn't want that situation to occur because I have not really benefited from whatever transaction that went on. Thank you.
Please, would you give us a time frame so that we will be rest assured that everything will be done, the payment will be done? Can you give us time frame?
Honorable Chair, I cannot, as at now, give a time frame, but with the discussions with them, we asked them to come out with a payment plan up to the middle of this year so that we recover the said amount. Thank you.
The committee resumes tomorrow to probe the ministries, departments, and agencies who were fingered in the 2020 Auditor General's report. James Kwesi Aveji's report for Joy News.
And that will be all for the news this morning. But stay with us. We dig into the papers and bring you the latest from there shortly.